Hello, today I'm going to talk about the compatibility between a Scorpio Sagittarius Cusp and a Libra. When you both are committed, you are committed. When it's time to get serious, you get serious. You're in it for the long haul. Neither one of you gives up easily. Your love is a battlefield and you face it head on. Love is a battlefield. Battlefield, battlefield. Yep. It can get competitive. That's what I mean. You both learn so much from your interactions. While you can get pretty riled up, that doesn't mean you should get each other in trouble, okay? That won't go well. You both like being a little risque, you know? You might cross some lines like public sex maybe? In general, you're very like daring, you know? And you might have a very raunchy sense of humor. And you definitely like to tease each other. But that may not be everyone's cup of tea, so be aware. If you have an audience, let them watch, right? Let everyone watch you guys doing your thing. No judgment here, okay? I mean, voyeurism, it can be hot. You know what? No comment. No comment. Always be understanding towards your Libra and try to put yourself in their shoes. Libra would enchant you. Your dynamic is very playful and you would find yourself feeling more laid back with a Libra. They bring out your witty sense of humor. However, you both are far from sunshine and rainbows and have a shadow side that your love will reveal. That doesn't have to be a bad thing. Your relationship definitely won't be the most important part of your lives. You often don't treat it as a priority when you're dating. Now, that doesn't mean you don't care about it or neglect it. It just means that other areas of your life are given equal importance. Get real with yourself about how far you are willing to go for your Libra. Do not bite off more than you can chew. And this won't become an issue, you know? You don't realize how much your suggestive and vulgar behavior may be affecting those around you in an uncomfortable way. You can't avoid conflict, especially when it concerns matters of the heart. You might try to avoid talking about something that requires you to dig deeper and be more emotional, you know? But you can't hide from it if you want this to work. Don't try to use your knowledge against a Libra. Try to share it. In fact, be as honest and emotionally vulnerable as you can.
You must bridge any gaps with a Libra by opening up whenever you can. A Libra would make a great fling. They would be like a really good short-term relationship, like summer romance or even one-night stands. You are the cusp of revolution, and you are an individual through and through. You don't care about the rules very much, and a Libra will feel very influenced by you in a good way.
You bring out their originality. You bring out their sparkle, you know? You make them shine. So many glitter analogies. They're a partnership sign and they often lose themselves in their partners. But you bring out their independence and their individuality. Dealing with your emotions can be intense, but you both are fully capable of getting through it. Falling in love with a Libra is a liberating experience. Liberating. You don't usually feel trapped by them as you do with some of the other signs. As friends, you love to joke around and make people smile wherever you go. You go through some really dark times. It can be very painful sometimes, but you must remember to grow from them and treat them as life lessons. Don't stop being yourself ever. You are your own person always. If your Libra likes to make a scene, then you might feel like your Scorpio side will come out more and like try to balance them out a little. The family you build with a Libra would probably be very unconventional. One obstacle you should know about is that you rarely are sad at the same time. You would think that the happy one could just cheer up the depressed one? Well, sorry to disappoint you, but when one of you is down in the dumps, it is extremely difficult for you to raise their spirits. In fact, it often just makes them feel more down. It goes away either way. You don't ever try to keep each other on a leash. You aren't super overprotective. Not doing anything to keep them around also makes it so that it doesn't last very long. Neither one of you wants that cliche white picket fence, you know, suburbia home. Like, that's not necessarily what your dream is. Like, we all have different visions of what we want. And for you, it's usually pretty unconventional. So it's usually not the white picket fence, the cliche. You don't want to settle down. You know, the idea of settling down doesn't appeal to this couple very much. Screw tradition. Like, marriages can be pretty awesome between the two of you. You make a pretty badass married couple, but it's usually not conventional. It's very unconventional. It's not traditional at all, you know? It's very progressive. Oh my God, my neighbor downstairs is like an opera singer, and I can hear her rehearsing. It's really good, but it's like really out of the blue, you know? Anyway, I don't know if you can hear it, but if you can't, it's like really high pitched. She's like amazing. They work well because of how pragmatic they are and how much of a good time you both have being married to each other. It's an amusing marriage, and it's pretty realistic too. As friends, you usually like to keep your careers separate. In fact, you can be very possessive about it. Almost like you're afraid that they will interfere somehow or get in the way of it. Don't let yourself be too persuaded by a Libra. They're very convincing. You both like to joke around and laugh, and you share a similar sense of humor. Okay, this is a very sexual pairing. Very sexual. Sex, sex, sex. Your relationship oozes sex. Think of like a toothpaste roll, and like it's filled with sex, and you're just like squirting it out of the roll. It's just like oozing sex. Yeah. Yep. You enjoy pleasure and naughty activities. While you're rarely sad at the same time, it doesn't mean it doesn't happen. And when it does, it's actually a very rewarding experience. You can take away so much from it and evolve from it, you know? Even when you both are super happy together, your connection is enlightening. You know how to give each other what you need. When you get married, there's a very laid back vibe between you two. And that really helps solidify your love. Libras can get in their head. After all, they are air signs. And while sex is important to them, they don't embody it the same way you do. They might develop a belief or decide they want to wait. And it can create some sexual frustrations. Libra may feel like they hold the cards for your sex life. And sometimes they withhold sex. And you're not really like that. So it may cause some tension for you. Friendships are usually pretty considerate, but your pride can sometimes get in the way. It's not uncommon for there to be a strong age difference between you and your Libra. This is not a bad thing. However, it can be, of course, heart-wrenching when the older one passes away, leaving the younger one alone. Or the younger one can't handle the older one's effect on them and decides to leave. Now, of course, this is very situational, you know, and it really depends on the rest of your chart too, of course. Remember, no matter how old you are still a fun couple. Like, it doesn't matter. Age is whatever, you know, like you can get along and be perfect for each other, and you can be like 20, 30 years apart. I don't know, but it doesn't really matter here. It's really when you face the reality of it though, like, oh my God, you're getting older, aging, you know, you're closer to your death than I am or whatever, that can start to cause some problems and insecurities. But when it comes to like getting along and compatibility, like this couple It doesn't matter what age you are, you know? Libras are excellent sexual partners for you. They tend to build up their sexual tension, their sexual passion throughout the day to release it all in the bedroom. They have a very erotic sexual energy that builds up, and then they like channel it all into you. But you have some Scorpio in you, and Scorpio like embodies sex. You experience pleasure on a whole new level. Pleasure isn't just sex to you. It can be like other things like tasting new foods, wine, chocolate, you know what I mean? Wearing a delicate fabric, feeling that feeling against your skin. Oh, it feels so good, you know? Getting a massage. You ooze sensuality, okay? You ooze it like it is who you are. And like sex for you is just another part of that. How you experience pleasure doesn't really matter. Because like when you're in bed together, fireworks happen when you're in bed together. And your sexual passion rarely dies down. The main way it does, though, I mean, obviously there's always a catch, is when you start expecting more of each other and adding more responsibilities to each other's to-do lists. In a marriage with like a real age difference, the way it often appears is that the older one usually takes on more of a role of the guidance, the guide, you know? And the younger one naturally assumes the role of like the student. This dynamic usually works out okay. It can be either one of you that's actually more of the teacher than the student, but it's usually more you, Scorpio, Sagittarius Cuspers. And even if you're the same age, you might often fall into this dynamic. In the bedroom, maybe some teacher-student role-playing could like fall into this dynamic. Definitely not uncommon for this match. You might feel annoyed at your Libra sometimes, but you both seem to have your shit together. You can't stand being in a sexless marriage with your Libra. And if sex is no longer a part of it, it won't last long. If it does keep going, then it probably won't be very happy. The marriage works most of the time, but you can't feel burdened by it. In the bedroom, voyeurism is common. You might like to watch, or you might like to be watched. Your relationship is a very educational experience. If you feel like you're not on the same wavelength, then you must try to focus on the energy that you share. This is a vibrant couple, full of vitality. Libra always has something on their mind to share. They can be really supportive partners. When it comes to creative endeavors, you could run your ideas by them without feeling judged. You both put on a show for each other and you charm your Libra. You charm each other and you love spending time with your Libra. You might take advantage of your Libra somewhat, but you also give so much to them. It doesn't make sense sometimes. But once you fall in love, it's a done deal. And there is structure. When you get married, it is very common for other people to try to seduce you. And this could be you or your Libra. Cheating may be a problem, but you usually resist, even if it's hard, even if there's temptation. Like, you might be very tempted to cheat at some point, but you don't. I mean, sometimes it does happen, but not every time. You know what I mean? Like, it's very, very, very specific to the couple, obviously, but there is temptation involved, and that's the major thing here across the board. And this can cause some drama, naturally. If you feel like your Libra is straying, or you are drawn to someone else, you may want to introduce someone else to your bedroom. You like have a threesome or something, or join a swingers group, or take part in an orgy. You are secure enough to do so most of the time. Anyway, you can explore that option for sure. Sometimes it might feel like you're copying them, but you're really just learning from them. Okay, so depression is no stranger to your love life. but pleasure may be the key to helping you deal with it. If you are spontaneous and they are also very spontaneous, they may not work out in the long run. Your egos can interfere with your love, and it can be a lot. And detaching yourselves is often your solution, but you need to try new tactics. It never hurts to try, all right? Also, something that you swore you would never try needs to be reconsidered. Dip your toes into the pool of pleasure. Thank you so much for watching. If you were born on the cusp of revolution, the cusp of Scorpio and Sagittarius, and if you are a Libra, please comment below. Let me know what you think. What is your story? I want to know, do you agree with this? Do you disagree with this? Let me know in the comment section below, and please subscribe to my channel. Bye-bye.